On February 9, 2004, 21-year-old Maura Murray disappeared without a trace, leaving behind only questions, theories, and a mystery that has haunted those searching for answers for nearly 2 decades. Her story starts on a cold winter evening in the small town of Woodsville, New Hampshire, but it ends in a case that has captivated the minds of true crime enthusiasts, investigators, and the general public alike. The question still remains: what really happened to Maura Murray? The day she disappeared. It was February 9, 2004, and Maura Murray, a college student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, was about to begin a journey that would change her life and the lives of those who loved her forever. Maura had been under a lot of pressure lately. Like many college students, she was struggling with the demands of her coursework, relationships, and personal problems. In the days leading up to her disappearance, she had been dealing with a series of troubling events. She had recently been involved in a car accident in which she had damaged her father's car, and there were also rumors about her being involved in an incident with a credit card. But despite these setbacks, Maura had always been a reliable student, and no one suspected that anything out of the ordinary was about to happen. On the afternoon of February 9th, Maura packed her things and secretly left her dorm room. She didn't inform anyone of her plans, not even her friends or family. At approximately 1 p.m. that day, she withdrew $280 from an ATM and bought a few items, including alcohol, at a local store. She also purchased wine, Baileys, and Kahlua, items that would later be found in her car. Most shockingly, she sent an email to her professors stating that she would be taking a week off due to a family emergency. It was a lie. No one knew where she was going, but Maura left the Amherst campus and drove toward the White Mountains in New Hampshire. It was a remote, rural area, far from where Maura had lived her entire life. Little did anyone know, this would be the last time anyone saw her. The crash on Route 112. Around 7:27 p.m., Maura's car, a 1996 Saturn, was found crashed on the side of Route 112, a winding, isolated highway in New Hampshire. A local resident spotted the accident and called 911, reporting that the car appeared to have slid off the road and crashed into a snowbank. When the police arrived, they found the vehicle empty. There was no sign of Maura at the scene. However, the car itself told a strange story. The airbags had deployed, and there was evidence that Maura had consumed alcohol, but there were no signs of a struggle or foul play. Strangely, the keys to the car were still in the ignition, and her belongings, including her purse, were found inside the vehicle. A bus driver who had passed by the scene shortly after the crash had stopped to offer assistance to Maura. According to his testimony, Maura appeared calm and told him that she had already contacted roadside assistance and didn't need any help. The bus driver left the scene, and by the time the police arrived, Maura had vanished. The search began. As night fell, the search for Maura began. The local authorities, along with search teams, combed through the area where her car had been found, but no signs of Maura were located. As days passed and no trace of Maura turned up, the situation became more and more perplexing. While Maura's family initially thought she might have gone for a walk or run away, the situation became increasingly suspicious. Her parents, Fred and Laurie Murray, were not convinced that their daughter had left willingly. They knew Maura, and they knew that something wasn't right. The fact that she had left so suddenly, without telling anyone, and had lied about the family emergency only deepened their concerns. The police, initially treating the case as a voluntary disappearance, later changed their stance and classified it as a suspicious case. A massive search operation was launched, but there were still no signs of Maura. The woods near the crash site were scoured. Helicopters flew overhead, searching for any sign of Maura, but the cold winter landscape yielded nothing. Maura's personal struggles. To understand what may have driven Maura to disappear, we must look at her emotional state leading up to the incident. It was clear that Maura had been under significant stress. A few days before her disappearance, Maura had crashed her father's car while driving, and she had been struggling with the aftermath. She was also dealing with emotional turmoil regarding her academic performance. Maura was known to be a perfectionist, and she had been feeling the pressure of balancing schoolwork, family expectations, and personal relationships. Additionally, Maura had been in a toxic relationship and had been struggling with an eating disorder. All these factors combined may have played a role in her decision to leave. Some have suggested that Maura may have been planning to take her own life, and the crash was just the beginning of a deeply troubled moment in her life. Others have proposed that she may have been seeking escape or trying to disappear from the pressures she was facing. The theories. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged about what might have happened to Maura Murray. While some believe she ran away voluntarily, others suspect foul play. One popular theory is that Maura may have been abducted by someone who happened to stop by the scene of the crash. The remote location and the fact that she was seen interacting with the bus driver before disappearing have led some to believe that Maura may have been taken against her will. There are also those who believe Maura may have had help from someone she knew. One theory suggests that she may have been involved with someone who knew the area and could have helped her disappear. This has fueled suspicions that Maura's case is more than just a random disappearance, that it was a carefully planned event with outside involvement. Another theory is that Maura could have been in a mental state where she didn't want to be found. She may have been trying to escape from the overwhelming pressure in her life. Perhaps the crash was an accident, and in a state of confusion or despair, she decided to walk into the woods, never to be seen again. Ongoing investigation. As the years passed, the investigation into Maura Murray's disappearance continued, albeit at a slower pace. The case was eventually handed over to the New Hampshire Cold Case Unit in 2009, and the search for Maura continued under new leadership. The Murray family, especially Maura's sister Julie, has never stopped searching for answers. Julie has launched several initiatives to keep her sister's case alive, including a podcast called The Untold Story of Maura Murray. In it, she discusses new details about the case, revisits old evidence, and explores new theories. Despite these efforts, the case remains unsolved, and Maura's whereabouts are still unknown. The search for closure. Nearly 20 years have passed since Maura Murray disappeared, but her family continues to search for closure. The case has garnered attention from people all over the world, and the mystery of Maura's disappearance has become a part of true crime lore. Her family remains hopeful that someone will come forward with information that will help solve the case. Whether it's a new lead, a forgotten detail, or a long-lost witness, the Murrays continue to believe that they will one day find out what happened to their daughter, sister, and loved one. The disappearance of Maura Murray is a tragic reminder of how quickly someone can vanish and how a single moment can change everything. Her family's unwavering dedication to finding the truth has kept her story alive. The story of Maura Murray is one that has left more questions than answers. As the years go by, her family, investigators, and the public continue to search for the truth. If you have any information about the case, no matter how small, please come forward. Maura's family deserves closure, and her story deserves to be told.